Welcome to the After Show for episode 94. If this is your first time tuning in, this is not the main episode. This is the high noon of the main episode, where we talk about random topics of interest. And this week, we have a very special After Show for you guys.
Yeah, we've been hyping it for a long time, right, Steven? Like,
Yes, we
maybe a month ago.
A whole month, guys.
Yeah,
We've been hyping that shit. We're done with mourning of girl groups lost, right?
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about our favorite songs of the year so far.
Yeah, up to this point.
Yes. It's the first time we've done this in our history, but we've always done an end of the year kind of top 10, and that's always our favorite episodes, to do.
Yeah, because it's full of positivity. It's full of songs that we like.
It is. And so this is going to be a little bit different. We're only doing our top 5, and we are not ranking this top 5. We're just listing our general top 5. There is no, like, 1 is better than 5, 2 is better than 4. These are just our 5 favorite ones.
Yeah, just keep that in mind because, I mean, these songs might change by the end of the year, but I think probably a good chunk of them will not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last year, for example, right, 2015, we had a not great first half of the year.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, the last half, there was all these like bang, 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 bangers. Mm-hmm. And our final top 10 was like full of like end of the year stuff.
Yeah.
And that could happen again this year.
Yeah.
I'm actually really afraid if that doesn't, because I'm still like, well, how about we first then, let's talk about our general thoughts of 2016 so far. Josh, what are your general thoughts?
So I think if you can call it a problem, the problem that we have with top 10s at the end of the year is that our favorite songs are the songs that we tend to like the most. We listen to them a lot and then we get kind of tired of them. And I'm glad that we're doing a top 5 because we get to talk about songs that we really like now, but might change later. Mm-hmm. But for me, so far in 2016, there's a lot of songs that I like, but there's not a lot of songs that I know I'm going to like throughout the year. So it's good that we're talking about songs now because a lot of my songs might not be there at the top 10 at the end of the year. Because like you said, last year, the end of 2016 was really good. And I feel like up until this point, we've got a lot of 7s and 8s, but nothing really 9 or 10 except for maybe a few songs. Yeah.
Oh, I think, again, we had the exact same problem last year, which, and we've said on the podcast before, like, we think that over the last 2 years, maybe even 3 years, like the quality of the average K-pop song has gone up.
Yeah.
And even this year, I think the average quality has been like much higher than the average quality 4 years ago. But the problem is like the amounts of 9s and 10s of songs that like we listen to 150 times. Those are just so few and far between nowadays. That I miss them.
Yeah.
I miss them a lot.
Yeah, and the problem could be a lot of things. Like one, maybe because the general quality of songs are going up. Like bangers to us back then might not be bangers to us now. So that could be a possibility. We're not really sure. Yeah.
Or maybe like our tastes have changed.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe our tastes have changed.
Maybe we're older.
Yeah.
Wiser.
And I feel like K-pop in general is slowly becoming more diverse as well. So people are like really, experimenting with new things. Yeah. And so we can like a lot of general things, but there's nothing really, really special about some songs, I feel like.
Yeah, and I also think there's a problem of like, every year there's just more and more and more groups. With more groups, there are more songs. And as we hear more and more songs, I think we just, most of them, especially the K-pop-y pop ones, right? Yeah. The new boy groups, new girl groups, they're just very like samey.
We've heard them.
And we've just heard them and we've seen it. And I think we've grown a little numb.
Yeah.
But there were some very good songs this year.
Yeah.
And before we get to our top 5, I did put a shout out to all of our Slack chingus.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them responded with their top 10. We're only going to read their top 5.
Yeah, because we're talking about top 5s.
Yeah, so I'm going to start M Baby Blue, one of our center chingus. She said her number 1 so far this year is Twice's Headphones.
Which is an interesting pick because this was not promoted. It was on their album, right? So that's her favorite song.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting picks in a lot of the of our Slack Chingus.
Very different than ours, which makes me happy actually, because we have a diverse group of people who can share a lot of different thoughts.
Yeah. Number 2 is Red Velvet's One of These Nights. Number 3, Mamamoo's You're the Best. Number 4, Oh My Girl's Liar Liar. And number 5, G-Friend Rough.
So 5 picks, all girl groups.
All girl groups.
All girl groups, and baby boo.
And maybe, and she's a girl though, right? So you can't be like, you know, we have a girl group bias naturally, but
I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
People are always just like, you guys don't like girl groups.
If there's 2 things that I think I like, number 1 is girl groups, and number 2 is solo male artists.
Well,
especially solo male R&B artists.
I'm 99% sure that barring one exception, there might be one exception there, but it's going to be all girl groups or solo male R&B artists on both of our lists. But,
probably, yeah.
Anyways, that's M Baby Blue. Josh, read the next one.
So our next one is from Steph. Her number 1 is Save Me by BTS. Number 2 is Fire by BTS. Number 3 is Young Forever by BTS. Number 4, Feel So Good by BAP. And number 5, Dynamite by VIX. So and Baby Blue, all female, all girl groups.
Yes.
Steph, all boy groups. And mainly BTS. If you don't know, she's a big BTS fan. And you can see number 1, 2, and 3.
And VIX fucked up the whole, at least make him all BBBBB, right? 3 BTS, 1 BAP, but VIX got that B.
I mean, you got a lot of groups to choose from. You could have been Beast, right?
Do they even make music anymore?
Shade to Beast.
Yeah. So the next one is by Super Semi Boring. And her pick was number 1, Winners Baby Baby. Number 2 is BTS's Fire, and Save Me was kind of tied.
Yeah.
Number 3, 10 Centimeters What the Spring, which is a great song.
Yeah.
Number 4, AOA Cream's I'm Jella Baby.
Also a great song.
Also a great song. Number 5, TK Local Market with Loco and Surat. I have no idea what this song is.
I don't, if you were like, sing the song, I would be like,
Local Market. Local Market. I recognize TK.
Yeah, I know.
The TK song that I feel like we talked about was definitely not Local Market.
No. I mean, I know all of these people. I know TK, I know Loco, I know Suran, but I just can't for life of me remember the song.
I think we sang it pretty well.
Local Market.
That's where you get your fruit. But those are 3 totally different lists, right? We got all girl groups, we got all boy groups, we got some deep pick. That's a pretty good mix, right? Like indie band, AOA Cream, TK. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Tough. I wonder if his name is Tough Cookie.
With a K.
I hope not. With the K. God, you just spit all over my arm.
Sorry.
That
got
K
so excited.
there.
Got so excited.
Well, speaking of excited.
Yeah.
Now, we did say we picked our top 5.
Yeah.
But we had we had to have an exception.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, if you're newer listeners and haven't listened to a top 10 before, Steven and I, we usually kind of have one artist that we both agree kind of who kills it that year.
Yeah.
You know, past mentions are AOA.
Yeah, 2 years ago, AOA.
Yeah, J Park.
Park last year, yeah. What you mean is like we grouped like multiples of their songs together so they didn't take up like all the entire list, right? Yeah. So AOA, we grouped all 3 of their songs into one, and J Park last year we grouped like 3 or 4 of their songs into one. Yeah. And so we had to do that again this year because they were just taking up too much of our list. And it would have just been us talking about them the entire time. Yeah. And so we are putting this is not in our top 5. This is our like, these are our 0. This is like,
definitely,
they definitely won 2016 so far for us.
Oh yeah, definitely. For
sure. And if you don't know who that group is, that is, all the girls, not just the ones that made it until the end, but all the girls of Produce 101.
Yeah.
Now for Josh, like, so, for me, like, if we did not separate this, 4 out of 5 of my songs would have been Fingertips, Yum Yum, Crush, and In the Same Place.
For me, maybe 2 or 3 would have been out of the top 5. Definitely Fingertips, definitely Yum Yum, maybe Crush.
But I think we both agree, though, that Fingertips is the best one, right?
Yeah,
hands
definitely.
down. Like, if I were to make my top 10 right now, Fingerprints? Fingertips.
Why are we saying fingerprints?
I don't know.
Who said fingerprints first? Might have been me.
I'm actually not sure.
Sorry.
Fingertips.
Fingertips.
It would definitely be number one.
Yeah.
Can you feel me? I got you. Got you on my fingertips. Got you on my fingertips. Got you on my hips. Got you on my lips. Got you on my fingertips. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Hey. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Yeah. 울타리 속으로 제발로 들어와. 온종일 내 주위 맴도는 너. 조금 더 내게 다가와. 사랑에 빠져 있잖아. 본능을 대체 어떻게 숨기니? 순진한 마음이 보기와는 다르지. 나에게 너를 맡겨봐. 괜찮아 괜찮을 거야. You are my love. 이제 그만 솔직해져봐. You are my love. 원하고 있어. Got you on my hips. Got you on my lips. Got you on my fingertips. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Hey. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Yeah. 조련할래 날 옳지 착하지. Got you on my fingertips. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Hey. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Yeah.
Yum Yum, probably number two.
Yeah, Yum Yum for you probably number 2.
And Crush, probably number three. I love these songs so much.
Yeah, I mean, they came out earlier in the year, and Steve and I are still listening to them, still jamming to them, and that kind of, breaks the mold for us saying like, oh, 2016, not a lot of great songs. But it's really interesting that all of these came from the same show.
Yes. And it's crazy to me that they still haven't debuted yet because I totally have never, they just haven't debuted. I don't know what they're doing, guys.
Ugh.
I don't know what they're doing.
Ugh.
And if you're new, please
a
understand that that's a joke,
a
and
joke.
we like to pretend Dream Girls.
Never
Does not
exist.
happen. Speaking of which, we just also together watched the
Gugudan.
Gugudan, and we're just like, what are y'all doing to us?
Preview for our main podcast.
Yes. Well, we're probably not going to talk about Gugudan because it was not great.
It was straight cabbage.
It was straight cabbage. Yeah. But anyways, I think that for me, like, I do not know if it's because we spent all that time watching the show, getting to know the girls, that I love these songs so much. I don't personally know how to divorce myself from that. And I think a lot of people just haven't heard these songs because
they're kind of a niche. They're not really promoted. They're not really, they were songs from a show.
Yeah. And for me, actually, like if I didn't watch Show Me the Money, I don't care. I'm not going to listen to a lot of I know Show Me the Money 5 songs are really big right now.
Really popular.
But I have like zero interest because I didn't watch the show. Maybe I should listen to them if Josh thinks they're really, really good.
I do think they're really good.
Yeah, I maybe like when the show is kind of near the end, we can do an after show
like
just
podcast,
about it, just about the show. Because we did that for Unpretty Rap Star.
Yeah.
But like, for example, like Unpretty Rap Star 2, like I just didn't really care.
No.
Despite those songs being really high charting, at the time.
And you know what? I think that a lot of people will say like, oh, that's really bad. But for me, that kind of embodies what K-pop is. Because K-pop, you really get invested into like the group and the members, and you kind of like learn their, quote unquote personalities, at least the personalities they show on like, broadcasts and stuff like that. And there's probably a good amount of bias because we did follow him and we do like know a little bit more about the members. But I do generally think that these are really good songs as well. So, I mean, catchiness wise, they're really, really up there in catchiness.
Yep.
But yeah, to be fair, there is a little bit of bias sprinkled in there as well.
Yeah, but I do want to, like, if you've never heard it, and despite us talking about it a billion times, you still haven't heard these songs, you should definitely check them out. Like Fingerprints and Yum Yum especially. You've probably heard Crush. And In the Same Place was actually the highest charting song for a long time of the produced songs.
Which is so wild to me.
Yeah.